What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick on Vacation Cactus. So if I sound a little bit different, I am making this in a hotel room, but the content, it never stops. And today we've got some brand spankin' new Destiny 2 news, courtesy of the Bungie weekly update that just went live, revealing official information. And so, let's get started. But really quick, that silky smooth background gameplay was captured on my brand new Apex Gaming PC. So if you guys are in the market for a new PC, definitely check them out. We've got 3 different models at 3 different price points, all Destiny 2 optimized, and use code KHD to save up to $250. Link in the description. Alright, but on to that news. First off, what's going on this week in Destiny 2? Well, I think first and foremost, there's an Iron Banner going on, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. But I think mainly, guys, there is the easiest Grandmaster of the entire season with the arms dealer available in rotation. I've already done a guide on how to not only beat that, but how to put together some loadouts to absolutely farm that Grandmaster. You can get your runs down to 10 minutes or less, so I think it is a really fantastic way. Not only is it going to be a lot easier for new players to beat their first ever Grandmaster, but again, this week, if you are looking for exotic armor, if you want to fill out your shards, if you want to farm an adept duty bound auto rifle, this is absolutely the week to do it with arms dealer being active. However, moving on from there, let's talk about some of the brand new info within the TWAB. First and foremost, Bungie finally reveals their plans for rotating dungeons and raids. Now, what the heck does that mean? Well, Bungie says on the topic of raids and dungeons, it should be noted that on April 19th, so next reset, the master difficulty of the current raid, Vow of the Disciple, drops. So the power level is going to be 1580 with a seasonal cap at plus 30, and Bungie says for those challenge hardy players, completing challenges at master difficulty will offer progress towards the raid seal. Each encounter completed also has the chance to drop an adaptive version of a given weapon for the raid. Unfortunately, that's all Bungie said about it, and there are some big questions within the community about how Master Vow will work, especially in terms of the Adept loot. The big question is, can the Adept Vow loot for sure drop with enhanced perks? Because if they can't, what's the point of them? Wouldn't it be better to just craft the normal versions with enhanced perks? But then, if they can drop with enhanced perks, doesn't that completely negate the normal craftable versions? Can you craft the adept versions of the raid weapons or upgrade your existing crafted raid weapons to the adept versions? There's a lot of questions out there. Hopefully, Bungie will reveal everything soon. But moving on to the rotating raids, this is coming next season with Season 17. So, Bungie says we're breaking up our rotator system into seasonal and weekly categories so that players can have a little additional freshness when taking on the weekly hunt for power. Let's start with our seasonal rotation since this implementation is short and sweet. So, each season, the newly released raid and dungeon will grant pinnacle rewards for all encounters. As an example, in Season 17, Vow of the Disciple and the upcoming brand new dungeon will do this. Outside of these, we'll have a raid rotator and a dungeon rotator, each offering a pinnacle reward once completed. So, for the weekly rotation, this particular inclusion will have a chance to feature all raids and dungeons not listed as the seasonal rotation. So you can go do Garden of Salvation, you can do Last Wish, etc. But Bungie says rewards, what's different here? So for the weekly rotation, completing the final encounter in any of the chosen raids or dungeons will award a pinnacle drop from a weekly challenge. For any raid or dungeon that offers a higher difficulty, such as Master Vault of Glass, that higher difficulty will also be available to select should players be itching for an additional challenge. But guys, here's where things get really interesting. Bungie says, oh, you like farming? We got you there too. So they say all lockouts on encounter rewards for legendary gear will be removed, which means all legendary drops in both raids and dungeons will be 100% farmable if you choose. Wow, so if I'm reading this correctly, that means that when, for example, Vault of Glass is in the weekly rotator, you can farm it over and over and over again until you get the perfect Fatebringer or Hezen Vengeance or whatever, and that is really, really darn cool. Definitely, this should breathe some life into some of the older raids and dungeons. But moving on from there, Bungie previews some of the patch notes for the upcoming April 19th patch. So it is a little bit of a small one. There's a bunch of bug fixes, but there are a few things you should know about. So firstly, for weapon crafting, they say that they've added a consumable item that allows the viewing of element counts. So this can be acquired through the relic conduit, and it's not a limited item. You can discard it and reacquire it at any time. So essentially, you go to the relic conduit, you can pick up this brand new item, and then you can just use it to view in your inventory to see, oh, how many Endroit element or ruinous element do I have to help you in your crafting endeavors when you're not specifically like at the crafting station. And then if it's taking up too much space, you just dismantle it and then you can reacquire it for free whenever. So that is definitely a little bit of a quality of life improvement there. Additionally, they say they fixed an issue where Devour would sometimes grant less buff time if multiple targets were killed in quick succession, so expect Devour, especially in PvE, to be a little bit more consistent, and they say added aim assist targeting to enemy Axion Bolt secondary projectiles to help players hit bolts that are chasing both themselves and fellow allies. So it's actually going to be easier to shoot down enemy Axion bolts, which are definitely seeing a lot of play right now. And guys, one last thing. Remember how Bungie was having a competition between Team Mechs and Team Monsters? People could vote, and the winner of these votes would be the next Festival of the Lost 2022 featured armor set. Well, the results are in. Team Mechs narrowly won with 52% of the votes, so expect Team Mechs to be the next featured armor sets, and honestly, both looked pretty darn sweet, so it was a pretty close competition. We'll have to see what next year's festival results are going to be. What will Team Monsters be going up against next? Guys, that is it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.